So shout out to the Shake Squad, it's your boy Shake. And I'm pretty shocked at how many people are out here. It's June 30th. We're going into July and there's still a lot of people out here. I just came out here myself. I try to give people that's you know, in the area that recognize me an opportunity to be in my video, my intro. So if you see me in the neighborhood, you already know what it is. So let's get into it real quick. This is what a pure playmaker looks like at 99 overall. If you forgot, this is by far one of my favorite builds. Been making it since basically 2K16, the tall 6'6", 6'7" point guard. But really I started like in 2K17, it was called the point forward. So I had like the 6'8" point forward. And all the way to 2K20, fast forward, this is what he looks like, 94 ball handle. We're just going through this real fast just to remind you guys, these are what my badges look like. And we're talking about playmaking today, so this is the reason why I had to make sure I share with you guys what I'm working with. Depending on who I'm playing with, I'll run Flashing Passer Hall of Fame because it's the fastest way to get takeover for your teammates. Now to me, the #1 mistake a playmaker can make with regards to badges is not running floor general. Obviously it says floor general gives offensive attribute boost to teammates when on the floor. Also at Hall of Fame level, can see teammates' potential shot percentages while on offense. Now 2K came out and said it's a +1 for every level you have floor general on. So if it's on Hall of Fame, it would be a +4 to all their offensive attributes. So for example, if you have an 82 ball handle and you're running with me with Hall of Fame floor general, you'll have an 86 ball handle and you'll be able to start speed boosting, momentum dribbling right out the gate as the game begins. In fact, that's how my buddy Prodigy likes to play, and when he plays with me, he likes to be able to use builds that not necessarily have the best ball handle, but then they get that huge boost in dribbling and everything across the board on offense. Now I understand there's a few cases where you might not want to run floor general. Maybe you're playing the 2s or 1v1, so that's obvious. And if your teammate is really good in the 2s and he can hit corner 3s and knock down shots, you probably don't have to run floor general. But I would still recommend it, highly recommend it, especially if you plan on being a playmaker to help your rest of your team out. So anyway, it's your boy Shake, that's just my take on it. Shout out to everybody that showed up to be in this intro. We even have Uncle Drew over here, look at that. Let's dive into some gameplay. So this is the first time I've used my Slashing Playmaker in a while, mainly because I've been grinding on my 2-way. More than likely, I'm gonna finish the year off on this build. It's just a lot of fun to use. But based on the way you rep up this year, I definitely say in terms of the park, the biggest mistake a lot of playmakers make is not throwing enough lobs. And I'm definitely guilty of this because deep down, I'm an ISO player. And of course, as a YouTuber, you wanna get clips. But if you wanna rep up faster, you have to throw more lobs. You're just gonna get more my points that way, and I don't think it's gonna change for 2K21.
Right here, we're in the park mentality. I'm looking for ankles. Pull your ass down. You know you can't stop the ankle bully.
Ooh, that was supposed to be a mean posterizer right there. I'm not even done. I'm trying to break his ankles again. He's playing smart defense, staying back off me. I missed that jumper, should have knocked that down, but my big man picks it up and dunks it home. Shout out to my guys Ace and Lotto for letting me have my show. They know I'm out here just trying to get clips. Last point of the game, you know you can't stop me. We're dunking on them. On to the next one. And look at this. 2K's gotta fix this for 2K21. Traveling violation on the checkup. That's when they bump the pass and they get it back themselves and they call traveling on the opponent, but you don't get to keep the ball. They get to keep it. After all of that, Ace, you gotta knock this down. Out here airballing. Look, the light changed. This is the same game. I hope 2K21 has like a little bit better dynamic lighting as I get blocked by that guy's feet. As a playmaker, you gotta trust in your teammates, even if they're bricking.
Are you serious?
Kick it back out to him and believe. Even with floor general and dimer, if your teammate just can't shoot, he's probably gonna ruin a whole bunch of highlights. Another big mistake that playmakers make is panic passing. I see this all too often, especially on the opposite team. I try not to do this myself, but a lot of times when you get a little bit of defense on you, you get bumped. You think you're gonna pick the ball up, and you immediately pass the ball to whoever. You don't use icon, you just panic and try to get rid of the ball as fast as possible, and it usually results in a big turnover. You just got to be really smart as a playmaker, and I see a lot of guys still making that mistake. These are just things that I haven't touched on all year, and I feel like even though we're getting towards the end of the year, these are things I definitely want to point out. Plus, you guys have heard me make fun of people who panic pass over the years. Like, I've been talking about this for years. It's just something I see a lot of guys do. They don't know who they're really trying to pass to. They're just trying to get rid of the ball every time defense comes up. In fact, that's the reason why I like being a two-way so much, because I get a lot of steals that way. I bet everyone knows at least one playmaker, running point guard, a friend on your friends list, or maybe just some guys you just randomly ran with who just don't use icon passing. Anytime they get into trouble, they just spam the pass button. And if you're playing against good teams, they're already waiting for you to do that. They're standing in between the passing lanes, just tapping X or square, spamming that steal button, waiting for you to make that mistake. And that's how a lot of people get a whole lot of steals, and that's how you're going to take a whole lot of L's. So if you're a playmaker, you can't be panic passing. It's just too easy to read as I'm dunking on him. Watch this right here. Look at this defense. He panic passed.
Thank you, sir.
And we got an easy steal that leads to a lob. Please don't get mad at me for playing on the randoms court. This was the only court that was available at the time, so it just happened to be this way.
You already know what time it is. We already in that park mentality. Time to get some ankles. Where you going? Sit your ass down. Ankle bully.
Oh! You gotta miss that.
I'm sorry if I missed.
Oh, you made it. Let's go.
And for the record, that's not a panic pass. That's just bailout. You should definitely run bailout if you're a playmaker trying to get into the lane. You can't dunk on everybody. When they double you in the paint, you got to kick that mess out. I just wanted to get that highlight. Look, all three of them jumping at me. And my teammates are failing me. Make me not want to pass the ball. Still in takeover. Let's get him. Ankle bully. Who told this man he could stand up? I'm taking this shot.
Oh, you still got it.
I was supposed to kick that over to Lotto, but since he failed in that last possession, I just didn't have any trust for him. But I trust him now. He can knock that one down. Sometimes when you lose faith in your teammates, you start ball hogging. That's another big mistake that playmakers make. Constantly ball hogging and not getting anybody else involved. Shout out to my buddy Hawkman. He's the one that pointed that out. He hates ball hogging playmakers. And so do I. And if you don't get the rest of your teammates involved, that's just going to be a big problem eventually. Guys don't always say anything right away, but you know, eventually they don't like to play with you or they want to run with somebody else. And they don't always say much to the YouTuber because they understand the YouTuber's, you know, he's got a business. Maybe he's trying to get some clips for some videos. He's trying to do things like that. So my guy Lotto and Ace, they're doing the right thing. They're letting me cook up. But if you're playing Team Pro-Am or Rec Center, you know, you really have to get the rest of your teammates involved. No one wants to play with somebody who's just ball hogging all game. Unless that's really the team strategy against comp teams. A lot of comp teams will play through one player, 5 out all game. Especially if they're going up against other comp teams and they want to ensure the win. But in most cases, especially in 2K20, potentially 2K21, the way the rep system is, it might be, you still have to get your teammates involved in order for them to rep up. Like, you're just not going to get any rep if you let one guy dominate the game the entire time. I mean, obviously, I'm doing it, but I'm doing it because I'm a YouTuber trying to get some clips and playing out here in the park with my guys. They let me get away with that kind of stuff. But in most cases, when you see teams do that in the Rec Center or Team Pro-Am, there's like 4 other guys on that team that's just not going to rep up. Mainly because one guy is doing all the work. This guy was fouling the hell out of me. He had only one more foul to go, and I couldn't get him to foul out. And finally, the last big mistake that playmakers make, as my man Ace continues to ruin plays, is not being able to call plays. There's a lot of playmakers out there that can dribble, that can shoot, but when the pressure's on and they have like a lockdown defender on them, they can't call plays to make sure that they win games. So it's your boy Shake. Let me know if this helped. I'll holler at you dudes in the next one. 21 Mamba Forever Edition includes the following digital items: 100,000 VC, 10,000 My Team points, 10 My Team tokens, 60 My Career skill boosts, 30 Gatorade boosts, 40 My Team promo packs, 10 at launch and 3 per week, Sapphire Damian Lillard and Zion Williamson My Team cards, MyPlayer shoe collection, MyPlayer backpack, and a Kobe Bryant digital collection which has 5 MyPlayer shoes, 3 MyPlayer jerseys, the Black Mamba MyPlayer uniform, rookie Lakers My Team jersey, Black Mamba custom My Team jerseys, Sapphire Kobe My Team card, and 5 My Team shoes.